I'd like to welcome you all to the celebration of life. Betty Wright was a woman of God, and a woman that celebrated life. So we'd like for you to enjoy some of the stories that we have in the program.
We'll begin our service by looking to the Lord and looking to His Word. And these are very familiar verses that are so often read at service like this. And yet they never ever lose their meaning and power of the Word. So here we stand from John 14. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God. Trust also in me. For in my Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, I would have told you. I am going there to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. You know the way to the place where I am going. Thomas said to him, Lord, we don't know where you are going, but how can we know the way? And Jesus answered, I am the way, and the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you really knew me, you would know my Father as well. From now on, you do know him, and you have seen him. And Philip replied, Lord, show us the Father, and that will be enough. We look to the Father today, and he will be enough. So let us bow our heads and pray. Lord in heaven, as we come to you today, we do come to celebrate. We come to celebrate the life of this woman who loved you so much. We come to remember her. And we can't do that without including you, because you were such an integral part of her life and way. And she was an integral part of her relationship with you. And so we ask that you would be present in this place, that as we look to you, we will find the answer to any questions, and we will find all that's needed today. Great is your faithfulness, Lord. Your mercies are new every day. And so today we thank you and praise you and honor you. All in the name of your precious Son, Jesus. If you will take your worship folders, the songs, the hymns that we will be singing, and some of the special music were all of Betty's choices, her requests. And so one of her favorite hymns, and it's very familiar to all of us, is How Great Thou Art. And you will find those words in your worship folder. So let's stand and sing together.
The universe displays. Then I shall bow in humble adoration, and there proclaim, my God, how great thou art. Then sing my soul, my Savior unto thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sing my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou
About 10 years ago, my mom got sick and we decided to move back to Ohio and visit which one of us we want to live with. And we always wanted to come to New Hampshire. She said she always wanted to live in Granite. So we brought her up here to rent an apartment for about 2 years, and then she decided that it was time to move into somewhere. And so we converted our garage into an apartment. And she loved to say, I live in a garage. And people would be like horrified because how? I said, we converted the garage into an apartment for her. Anybody who's taken care of an older person, an Asian person, knows how frustrating it is, how angry you can get, and how tired you can get. And I wouldn't trade those 10 years for anything. My mom was always a real private person. She didn't tell us she loved us a lot. She didn't tell us a lot. But she always kept her emotions in check. For those 10 years, I got to know her. And it was such a privilege. We had a lot of fun. She was also a little stinky, but, we had a good time. I would take her shopping sometimes, and we'd go into Macy's to buy our clothes. And, usually you're in and out in 5 minutes. 45 minutes later, we are still in that dressing room, and I'm sure that everybody in the store could hear us. She'd be, Becky, these pants do not fit me. They do not fit me. I look back and I say, Mom, you have both legs and one pant leg. You got to figure this out. So, it was just a lot of fun. It was fun. One day, she told me that she had a journal that she didn't have, and we could not see it until she was gone. So I called my brother and I said, you know she had a journal? And he said, no. And I called my sisters and I said, you know she had a journal? And they said, no. And so my sister and I decided that it even said she forgot to put one of us with stuff. So the three of us sat down and talked about it. John, you do the short stick, you were the doctor. But in that journal, now that I've had it and have to read it after she was gone, she writes about how she loves her family. She prays for you. Her grandfather prayed. She said every morning when we were there, she prayed for an hour for generations. She just continually prayed for his children, his grandchildren, his great-grandchildren, all down to the line. She kept that up. I would go over there in the morning and her Bible would be open, and her head would be bowed as she was praying. She wanted that legacy to continue. We need to do that. She talks about how she loved her family. She loved her grandchildren and her great-grandchildren. And her face lit up with me. She wanted her family's legacy to go on and how important that was for her. So the one thing that I can tell my family is, even if she's sick, she loves us dearly.
I'm not a member of the family, but I embodies the law of the Lord. Mom, you were a major father, a faithful wife and son for 58 years, an advocate and advisor. You were an artist, a fantastic cook, and good housekeeper, and laundry maid. Mom, a nursemaid, gardener, seamstress, and teacher. A beautician, oh, there was freedom in your heart. You were a Sunday school teacher, a PTA helper, a member of Pioneers of America. You were neat, mild-mannered, soft-spoken, kind and gentle, and a friend to the family, fun and sweet. You were mommy, mom, Meemaw, G-Maw, great-grandma, and the one we hear, Granny-Grandma. Thanks, Granny. You were everything I wanted to become. Loved by friends and family, and you will be greatly missed. You lived a long, happy, and contented life. You left a rich legacy. You are now our angel among angels. Rest in peace, Mom.
We are thankful that Becky has recovered sufficiently from her recent episode, and she could be here today. We're thankful that you all. My dad passed away in late 2002 in Akron, Ohio. We traveled to Akron for the funeral, and the day before was asked by my mom to speak during the funeral service. It's the first time I'd ever done anything. I got to tell you, it was one of the hardest things I ever done. Yesterday, I was asked by my sisters to speak today, and would like to share and celebrate her life of 95 years with you this afternoon from my perspective. Unfortunately, I'm coming at this a little differently than previous. We were raised in Akron, Ohio, with several short periods in Shinston, West Virginia, a small coal mining town just across the Ohio River. I guess we could consider our family a typical middle-class family in the early 1950s. Dad would work every day at Western Electric, and at the end of the week, he gave Mom a set amount of money, the same amount every week, for groceries and general household needs, and he would pay the rest of the bills. So Mom was not directly involved in the finances. She would earn extra money doing word-of-mouth sewing, anything from alterations to wedding dresses. She did a great job. The only thing she was remiss in doing was learning how to charge people for what she did. This supplemented her household stipend, I would, without telling Dad how much she earned. I don't think Dad ever shared with Mom how much he made. She also would make many of the clothes that my three sisters and I would wear. She did a great job with the sewing earnings and the household stipend to provide an environment for my siblings and I to become productive citizens. I would like to share this afternoon the personality traits of our mom that ultimately shaped our lives. Mom was strong-willed. When Mom and Dad retired, Dad initially would secure both his Social Security check and my mother's Social Security check because he claimed Mom's check was based on his income. Mom worked only a short period of time during World War II before I was born, so she wasn't in the workforce that long. So The money she got, my dad says, based on my income, so it's my check. Mom persisted. She was strong-willed enough to persist. It took her quite a while, but she convinced Dad that really that money was hers. After Dad passed in 2002, Mom chose to live alone in her house, to be near her friends and her sister Laura. 3 siblings were out of state. She did so until 2010, 8 years. Early on, she learned how to manage finances without much help from any of us. She was determined to walk every day, and did, in fact, walk many days each week until just a few years ago. Keep in mind, she passed at 95. She and I would make one circuit of the Livingston track. It's a quarter mile. One time, my sister Peg was walking with Mom, and Mom became concerned that one man was stalking her. Keep in mind, Mom was in her late 80s at that point. So the next time I walked with Mom, she pointed out that man was there at the track. She pointed who it was, didn't recognize the person at first. As we walked around the track, I could hear him talking every once in a while, and I knew I recognized that voice. After we finished, I walked over to introduce myself to Jamie Staten, sports newscaster at WMUR. When I told him that Mom thought he was stalking her, he laughed and explained he was so amazed that she was able to walk a full lap with a walker. So he decided to do a short video for 10 o'clock news that night on the B portion of WMUR. We missed it. We didn't know that he was doing that. And he did it because he wanted to encourage others to do the same thing. No stalking, just a human interest story related to sports activity. Mom has bounced back from so many major medical issues that my older son, Scott, lovingly referred to her as the Energizer Bunny. I'll give you a couple of examples. 2005, Mom was 82. She had a right knee replaced. 2007, she's now 84. She broke her right hip. It was repaired with a plate. She broke her hip because she fell, tripping over the hose as she's washing her car. 2008, she's now 85. She had carpal tunnel surgery. She also sustained that year a head injury resulting from a fall in her Ohio church parking lot with subsequent hallucinations and dizziness. The hallucinations passed quickly, but the dizziness persisted until she passed in June. This injury ultimately brought her to New Hampshire for several winters. She was concerned about being in that home during the winter, so we brought her up here for a couple of years. She returned each spring to spend the warmer weather in Ohio. 2010 to 2011, 4 bouts of C. diff, a debilitating intestinal condition. After the 3rd episode, she made the decision, with our encouragement, to relocate to New Hampshire. In 2010, she did. And she's 87 now. So 10 days after she moved into her apartment or her condo at Granite Hill, she fell and broke her left pelvis and her left wrist. She was unpacking boxes from the move in this spur. She bounced back. She bounced back from all of this. In 2012, she's 89 now, and she wants to have her left knee replaced despite no encouragement from her children. Her comment, did okay with the right one, I'll do okay with the left one, And she did, although the knee replacement was not as good as the first one. She maintained a healthy attitude with a lot of strong will, living independently until August of 2017. So the Energizer Bunny seems to fit. Mom was stubborn. She, after all, has Scotch and Irish in her heritage. She was determined to drive a car, even though she could barely see over the steering wheel. If you walked by and she was driving, you might not see her. To her credit, she later, 2 or 3 years later, decided to give up the keys on her own, and we were elated that she did that. She was determined to remain in her house, and did so until her relocation to New Hampshire. On the surface, it appeared as though Mom was very decisive, but she could be indecisive. Small story. Mom avoided making some decisions, preferring to just let life happen. Obviously, she made decisions about the car and moving up here. She made decisions about when to eat and what to eat, although she never ate very much. But a funny story, Mom had to return to Ohio for a medical appointment in December of 2008. The first winter she spent in New Hampshire. Mom, Beck, and I flew to Cleveland, which is 30 miles north of Akron, to meet our sister Peg, who was flying in from Nashville. I rented a car, and as we all missed dinner because we were flying, I told Mom, Peg, and Beck to look for a place to eat while we drove from Cleveland to Akron. We drove from the airport in Cleveland to a traffic circle, several miles from where Mom's house was. No one had mentioned a place to eat. I indicated I was going to continue to drive around that circle until somebody chose a place. There were 3 places on that circle. I made that circle 7 times before somebody made the decision about where to get something to eat. The indecisive gene has apparently passed my 3 sisters. Mom attended church faithfully until her balance became unstable and interfered with her ability to get to church and to be comfortable sitting. She read the Bible just about every day, as well as many books and periodicals, until her eyesight began to diminish significantly. She maintained phenomenal long-term memory, regularly reciting over the past 5 years or so childhood stories of family and friends that she grew up in West Virginia. Short-term memory was noticeably declining, but then so was mine, now 23 years ago. Mom taught me a great deal about life and living these past 8 years, and I will miss her. I know she passed on her terms. With the rest of these.
He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High, rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge, and my fortress, and God, whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare, and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and your defense. You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrows that fly by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys all at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. Make the Most High your dwelling, even the Lord, who is no refuge, and no harm will befall you, and disaster will come near your tent. But he will command his angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways. And will lift you up in their hands, that you will not strike your foot against a stone. You will tread upon the lion and the cobra. You will tread the great lion and the serpent. Because he loves you, because he loves me, so I will rescue him. I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. He will call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation.
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. Precious Lord, linger here when my life is almost gone. Hear my cry, hear my call, hold my hand, lest I fall. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. When the darkness of you and the night draws near, and the day is past and gone. At the river I stand, guide my feet, hold my hand, take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. Take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I'm weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home.
I'm not sure how I went here, but across the top of my sermon, you put kids. I don't know if you know what that means, but it means keep it short, stupid. When I started dating Becky, and went to meet her mom and her dad. Her mom was okay. You know, we saw her as the short little old lady here. She wasn't always that short, but she was always that sweet. Meeting her dad, though, was another story. And the first night that we met,
things went well. It was thereafter that I had questions. But Mom had a fun side to it. Mom would get to laugh, and you could tell that something struck her. There were some stories that we heard this morning, or this afternoon, but she also did some things that made me question who she was. One of the things that she did was I was making her bed, and I had to do something with a pillow. Straighten the pillow corner out or something. And she gave me this other cover. And I said, Mom, what do you want me to do with this? She said, put it over the pillow. I said, Mom, you just made me fix the pillow. Now you want me to cover it up? And she said, yes. And I said, Mom, why would you do that? She said, because I'm the mom, and I want it that way. She also could speak her mind. One of the times when Caleb was a youngster, Josh and I were playing catch with Caleb. I probably ought to clarify that a little bit. Caleb was the object of which we were playing catch with. As Mom sat on the couch, she looked up and she said, "You couple of idiots." She was kindly. They were also a giving lady. One of the things that I remember from the very first time that I met them, they were involved with the Pioneers. And that was a club that came from the phone company. One of the things that they did was they did things for the Special Olympics. Remember Dad putting noise makers inside of baseball, or things that so they could hit the ball and golfing, and they did all kinds of things like that. And to help support some of that, they used to make candy, the hard rock candy. And I used to love going over there after they made that candy. I got some of the pieces that were left over. They did a lot of things. I remember Mom making blankets. And those blankets went to the nursery, to the hospitals, to the kids, so that they could stay warm. Awesome. There were times when I'd go to her house and she was pulling clothes out of her closet to give to the needy. I remember them talking about the hospital visits and the nursing home visits from all their friends. But Mom also had a quiet side to her. She had a side that she just liked to share with us. A lot of the times it was about her childhood and growing up and being on the farm. And the one thing that I don't know if she forgot that she told me, but probably 50 times a year when we talked, she would say, my uncle would tell me to make sure I stayed away from the big things. They were dangerous. They were. And then as we heard about her grandfather, praying with her every morning when she was at the farm. And Mother would have to pinch her to get her to sit still while grandfather prayed. Those are things that sometimes I think we take for granted. It was good to hear Mom talk, and sometimes she would share with me her trouble. Peaceful. And it was through those conversations that I was able to really get to know who Mom was. And it's no wonder that this song that we read this morning, the more I think about it, the more I hear it, the more I think about it, the more I can understand why it was so important. You see, she put her faith in God. That's this first couple verses talk about. And then she also knew in verse 3 and 4 that God would shelter her with his wings. That was important. And Mom knew that. And Mom understood God's love for her and understands her love for you. One of the things that Mom would share with me is that she prayed for the church, prayed for the family. She said, I just want my family to be in heaven. That's tough. You sit there and listen to that. And she said, I prayed for all my children, and all my grandchildren, and all my great-grandchildren. Would be in that. One of the things that Mom always enjoyed was going out to eat. Until she was really bad, she didn't have the time off. And now she's eating the banqueting table. See, Mom wants you to join her for dinner. Mom, the dad, were born.
They just lost their dearest friend. Oh, like he said, now he was dead, so this was the way it would end. The dreams they had dreamed were not what they seemed. Now that he was dead and gone, the garden, the jail, the hammer, the nail. How could a life be so long? Then came the morning, when night turned into day. The stone was rolled away, all broke with the dawn. Then came the morning, shadows vanished before the sun. Then the dawn and the light and warm, more morning had come. The angels of God, the kings from afar, the rain of water of wine. Now it was done, faithful, we stood before the sun. She knew it was true, she watched him die too. She heard him talking, just a man. And deep in her heart, she knew from the start, somehow her son would live again. Then came the morning, night turned into day.
Father, we are so grateful that you allowed us to be a part of this lady's life. And Lord, as she has begun a new celebration, a renewed body, Father, we ask that you would allow us to remember the good things. Allow us to remember the lessons that we learned from Mom. Allow us to be a part of her life again. Be with us. Help us to understand what it means to be born again as a woman. We love you, Lord. We thank you for taking Mom to heaven with you. We pray, Lord, that as we get ready to leave this, that you would keep our memories fresh and the things that we heard today. We pray this in your matchless, holy, heavenly name of Jesus. Amen.
You can take the back of the worship folder. We will sing this one song that declares it is well with my soul.
Hero
like to invite all of you to, stay for dinner. It will be ready in a few minutes, and until it is unpacked and ready, there are some shrimp, and some cheese and crackers that are back there to enjoy, some drinks. So help yourself and mingle and have fun.